What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? I'm super excited to get with you guys as I am as always because it's Hump Day. When it's Hump Day, it's the Sports Lounge Media, not the Sports Media Lounge, but the Sports Lounge Media. So, anyways, I'm on a troll today. I'm sorry, guys. But super excited to get with you guys today. We're gonna be breaking down the NBA. Western and Eastern Conference Finals, and it looks like it's gonna be a good one. Um, and we're gonna jump right into it after we get into our sponsors. Before we get into our sponsors, what's up to my co-host Mark Crandall and also our moderator Sarai. What's going on, guys?
Good if you flip the fingers the other direction.
Oh, I don't know. This way, this way. Oh, this one. I don't know.
Hey, I'll be
You
Mark
see, you
anytime.
y'all. It's labeled, so y'all can see who is who. So go ahead with our sponsors, brother.
No, we of course we got number one sports fan located in Tulare, Visalia, and Hanford, and also their new location down in Los Angeles. So they got that shop open up. They have all the new merchandise. They even got all your Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl merchandise. You know, people that want to rep the Kelly Green is
Go Birds!
is sitting
Oh,
right there.
sorry. Anytime you say Philadelphia Eagles, I'm just gonna say Go Birds.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say brotherly shove. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And then of course we've got Brian Martino Construction. Hit up Brian Martino at Brian Martino Construction, and if you mention the Sports Lounge, any job over $10,000, he will give you $1,000 off it. All you got to do is mention the Sports Lounge Media. And I'll say this: that $1,000 it comes in handy, because that means you can get an extra $1,000 added on to something else that you want to put in your house.
Yeah.
And thirdly, we've got Cali Built Graphics, who takes care of all of our shirts, hats, jersey stickers, anything you need. Now, obviously, we see the chosen one rolling the old one. We do have our new polos that just coming out. I know I'm sitting a little lower, but they have brand new Sports Lounge Media. Sorry, some of us are not able to sit as high as the rest of us. But anyway, so hit up Rigo at Cali Built Graphics, and he will take care of your needs there. So if you want your decals made, anything like that, hey, any person that's out there, you hit us up. If you want a Sports Lounge Media decal, you let me know, because actually they are ordered, and I will send you one personally. And also we're going to be looking to get our shirts and our hats all made and stuff like that. It's going to have the Sports Lounge Media logos on them. So those are going to be coming soon. And last but not least, of course, we've got the Diamond Collection, the Mogul brand with the Diamond Collection. And you hit them up on their website and you type in the Sports Lounge Media for their promo code. And what's the website, Mikey?
It's www.poweredbytmb.com. And let me just stop 1 second, guys, because it is exploding. This week I've been working tirelessly yesterday and today. You guys can go to the Instagram, the Real Diamond Collection, and go check out all the cool videos and stuff that we've been promoting. We've been working tirelessly to putting these things together and starting this brand to take off to the next level. We got celebrities you guys are going to see. We're going to have athletes that you're going to see that are going to be drinking this product. We're going to be endorsed by the NFL alumni as well. So we're working on those contracts as well. But if you want to be one of the first people to be able to taste it, see it, look at it, and participate in being a part of our community, you go to www.poweredbytmb.com, type in the promo code Sports Lounge Media, and you're going to get 20% off. Go check us out, man. It's the new revolution. As you guys can see, that a lot of stuff is changing in the US, but one thing is for sure, Diamond Collection is going to be around forever.
Yep. And last but not least, I forgot to mention, also, for those that are following right now or watching here on YouTube, don't forget, we have our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok pages. Also, you can go to the sportsloungemedia.com, which is right there in the scrolling, whatever you want to call that thing down at the bottom. I don't even know what those things are.
The ticker.
All right, so the ticker. So
no, the ticker.
The ticker. Okay, so the ticker.
There you go.
Hit up that website, and all you got to do is click on the link, and it will take you to subscribe straight to our YouTube page. So this way, it's, so you have that. So this way, you get those follows, and every time you follow, can follow your YouTube channel back also if you got something rolling through. And again, so we've got all four of those social media platforms. And of course, we also have the Mogul brand has their own platforms. Sarai has hers on TikTok and everything like that, because we all know she's a huge Philadelphia fan. I mean, I don't understand what's up. I don't know how I got stuck with all these dang
little
Eagles.
bit.
They're over here trying to lean me towards, oh, go for Philly. I'll say this before we start our show, because we know it's going to be about the NBA. But the tush push officially, or the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it, has been approved. And my Green Bay Packers are the ones that led the charge to try and get it banned. But I'm going to say this, and I don't care it goes out on social media. I hope Philadelphia runs that mug for the entire first quarter, just every play. Brotherly shove against the Green Bay Packers. I got no problem saying it, because I'm just like, if you're going to sit there and cry about it, you learn how to stop the play.
The problem, the main problem, I know we're going to go on a tangent about the whole NBA thing, but before that, let me rant this out there. Number one, we talk about the physicality of football, right? And how it's not as physical. The tush push brings that physicality there. You're lining up your best dudes against our best dudes, and we trying to not. You're forcing us to not make that first down, and we're trying to get that first down. So we're going head to head to the strongest, best of the best. And we've seen other teams like the Bills be unsuccessful doing it. The problem is that we just do it way better. All right. And so that, I think that in itself is enough for me to say, why would you try to ban one team or put it against one team to not be able to do that, when we're asking for more physicality for football? We're asking for more of a chance to make it more exciting. And they said, well, the tush push isn't a dynamic play. The Bears coach, Ben Johnson, let me tell you something, Ben Johnson. Number one, when we do the tush push, it's for a first down. That's exciting. Maybe not for you because you're not getting the first down, but for us, it's exciting. Number two, we do it in the end zone. We score touchdowns with it. So, I mean, regardless if we have it or not, Saquon Barkley will just get 40 touchdowns then. I mean, either way, it's a quarterback sneak. At the end of the day, we got one of the strongest lines. I think we're over 1,700 pounds. And somebody could correct me in the chat I'm wrong, but I think I'm pretty right. But it's 1,700 pounds up front. I mean, line up your best dudes, line up our best dudes. Let's get the physicality back in football, and let's quit crying about it. Line them up. Let's do it. You know what I mean? And if they eventually in one day they might ban the sequence of it of not be able to touch the quarterback to be able to push him. I mean, it doesn't matter, because we're gonna have two guys colliding going in, and then you're gonna have our guy going in after that. So, I mean, whether you push them or you don't push them, we're still going to get the push. So, but that's my little rant on it. Anyway.
Yeah, this is going to be coming. This show is going to be coming soon. So, yes, please bring out the buzzer. Bring it out. We don't care.
I would say, though, it is, my opinion on it is we do have a tough, front line. Our O-line is tough, and I think the majority of people always think it's like the push for Jalen Hurts, but I think he already has so much momentum, and everybody's already collapsing in the front that he just gets that in. So
no, it helps the fact. Let's be honest. It helps the fact being that you got Jalen Hurts who's over here squatting 600. You got Saquon who's pushing him from behind and squatting like 800, like it's nothing. Then you're gonna, and now you just added that new tight end that's plus Dallas Scott or whoever they want to add. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you got like 1,200 pounds alone of squatting power just from the running back and the quarterbacks going through. So I don't care what you're going to be. You can be fourth and 12. Let's be honest, they're still going to get the dang thing. So,
hey guys, real quick, when we jump into it, let me give you a little parlay prop. I already betted. I'm betting on a prop. It's the Eagles to do the tush push the first play of the game. When we drop the banner. So if you guys want, it's 10,000. It's 10,001 for it to happen. You put $1 down, you win 10,000. I mean, and so on and so forth. You could do the math. But I already bet it. I already betted on that. We're gonna do the tush push, the first play of the game, just for the hell of it, just because. You know what I mean? So if you guys want to jump into that parlay, or jump into that bet, that might be a good prop bet for you guys. Anyways, let's jump into the NBA. Switching gears. Sarai, you gonna switch them gears for us?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about NBA. So we have LeBron, Curry, KD all eliminated. So I wanted
Yeah.
to get y'all's opinion on is it the end of an era or is it the beginning of a new one? Are we going to see new superstars or do we think they still got a little something?
That era ended a long time ago.
Okay. What's your reasoning behind that, Mark?
I mean, if you look at so today it was just announced Shai was the new MVP.
Mhm.
You know, when you look at the eras, I've had this argument with Chosen 10,000 times over.
Who was last year's MVP?
I don't care who was last year's MVP.
It was Jokic, but go ahead.
Again, it wasn't LeBron.
Yeah,
Go
ahead. I knew you were gonna bring him up. You always do in every time we talk about
that's all I gotta do is bring it up because it's a fact. You know, it's never been a LeBron era. It's always been the Steph era. But no, I think the eras are starting to change. You're starting, you know, you got an older generation that is coming out of everything. You know, obviously they're dang near in wheelchairs and walkers and all that good stuff when it comes to NBA age. You know, not saying physically, literally, but you know, they're just getting up there. And so to me, you're seeing this younger era, the Anthony Edwards, the Jokic, you know, the even Giannis is actually even getting up there in his age. But like I said, I felt that era actually ended a couple years, probably about 3 years ago, in my personal opinion. Making the playoffs still, yeah. You know, Curry made the playoffs, LeBron made the playoffs, getting knocked out in the conference finals. It just you haven't seen them ever since the bubble was the last time the Lakers were relevant.
They're in the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago.
Again, that's not relevance. That's not making the NBA Finals.
Okay.
You know, that's my thought process on it. But you know, so I feel that era ended honestly about 3-4 years ago. That's my personal thought.
Yeah. So when it comes to eras, I believe that there's always a torch that needs to be passed, and I think that we're in the phase of a torch passing type of era right now, where you're starting to see other players being elevated, and you started to see that in the Olympics. Actually, you started seeing Ant getting tips from LeBron, getting tips from KD. And him playing against them and practice and those things, and Halliburton and those guys. So I believe that we're not at the end of an era, but we are in a passing the torch era. You have Jalen Brunson. You have Jalen Brunson going against Halliburton tonight, and then yesterday you had SGA going against Ant-Man. And that right there should tell you that we are in that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that next year KD could be on a team that could force them to get over the hump, right? That doesn't mean that LeBron gets a center and actually be able to be in the conversation again. But it is phasing out. It is at the end. I said we got two years left. If that, maybe next year will probably be the last year. But I think it's a 2 to 3 year span. Curry even getting old. You got him even. He's just not enough, right? He scores like 30 points and it's just not enough. He has Jimmy buckets. He's starting to get these superstars that are in there, and it's just not enough for them because maybe the pace of the game or the speed of the game is just too much for them now. So I think we're in a passing the torch era and not so much the end of one. But I believe that there's 2 years left, 2 to 3 more years, and then we'll be at the end of one. I will say though that I was skeptic and I was hard because after LeBron is gone, Mark is really not going to have much to talk about when it comes to the NBA, nor anybody else that gets paid. And this is where the appreciation comes in from all of the creditors outside of Mark. Because when those guys are gone, I was kind of worried of who do we talk about next? There was not really a guy that stuck out. And even me and Mark actually had this conversation. It's like, who's the next dude? Jason Tatum? Like, is it Jaylen Brown? And no, it's not actually. It's neither of those guys. It's the guys that are playing right now. It's SGA, who he just said that was MVP. It's Jalen Brunson, who could do it all by himself, and he's really, really great. And of course, his cast members as well. And then you got who else you got?
Michael Jordan's son.
You got Ant-Man. Ant-Man is
Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah, you got Ant-Man, right? He's very explosive, really great to watch. And even though he's in a lot of trouble, you got John Morant who can, jump as high as the
Mhm.
ceiling and really make it exciting. So as far as the game goes itself, I think we are in a really good hands. And then guys that are coming in, it's starting to fill some of those roles as well. And yeah, I'm excited for Ant-Man. I'm excited for Jalen Brunson. I'm excited to see what SGA could do. I think that we'll talk about a little bit more, but I think the Thunder need a little bit more to be like the most dominant team. But they had a hell of a season. They did start out 8-10 in the season, and it was kind of worrisome, but they picked it up. They look at where they're at now. So back to the question, though. Yeah, me mentioning those names and those guys, I think that we're definitely passing the torch period right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. I think that, it's slowly fading away, and there's going to be a new era that I think is going to have a lot of like explosive players that are going to really become superstars. So
yeah, I think the question I asked both of y'all is like, the NBA is such a three point game. Like, if you could shoot beyond the arc, I mean, I seen Towns shoot beyond the arc tonight. It's like, you're a center, bro. Like, are we ever going to get to the place where like banging is going to be where it's at? The board is going to be where we're at. Because I mean, we still got Rudy Gobert, we got Embiid, we got Joker. We do have guys that bang, but is that even fading out? Are we now seeing something that what was once loved now being faded out as well?
I think the big thing for that is once we see the likes of, in all honesty, Curry, Klay Thompson, those guys that are 3-point shooters, I think we're going to start going back to that era. Anthony Edwards is not a big 3-point shooter. He likes driving the ball. SGA drives the ball. I mean, so I do think that era is coming back where it's going to go back to actual real basketball. Once we see, LaFlop gone, with not even being touched with air.
It's going to be a long pod.
But no, my thing is like I do think that era of going back to banging on the boards, people not it has to come back to physicality. And I think the one thing, I mean, I joke around a lot with the likes of Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama, two sticks battling it out and trying to sit there and start a fire. That's what it's like when they're down low in the post. But I mean, I think you're going to start seeing more guys come out with, stronger physiques, and not afraid, because you don't, when you look at the guys like Wemby, I mean, even Cooper Flagg coming out from Duke, he does have a little more size than Wemby and stuff like that. And I'm not a big Cooper fan. But I think he's going to be a great player. I think Dallas is going to end up obviously taking him at number 1.
Yeah.
If they don't, they'll be dumb. I think it's ridiculous that you start to see. I mean, I can go on a whole tangent about superstars get traded and all of a sudden that team manages to get the number 1 pick all the time. But no, I just think you're starting to see more physical type play and stuff like that. You're getting a lot of these college athletes are sticking around longer, which means their bodies are more maturing because of the NIL deals. And I think that's what it's needed right now. That's not just in the aspects of basketball, that goes for football also. Baseball and hockey are pretty much the only 2 sports that you'll start seeing high school athletes going into the drafts. But of course, in those 2 sports, they stick around in the minor leagues. These guys aren't getting drafted in the first round and expect to be stars right away like they do in the NBA or in football. So right. Their bodies are going to have to mature more and things like that. Average age for Major League Baseball to start once they make the pros realistically is about 23 years old.
So we don't know. We don't know that for sure because the guys that coming from the Dominican Republic don't have birth certificates.
Overseas. Overseas.
What was that one cat? I'm Pedro. I'm 13.
Yeah, I mean,
but no. So that's my thought. Is the bodies are starting to get more. They're going to get more physical. They do spend a lot more time with strength training, things like that. It's not just like, I can just shoot the ball. Just let me shoot the ball. No. You need to start having that physical aspect. So I do think that type of play is going to come back. Are we going to see the next Shaquille O'Neal? I mean, realistically, honestly, if I saw a guy that was basically built like Alonzo Mourning, Zoe to me was probably one of the best centers of all time. If it wasn't for the cancer battle and stuff like that, I mean, he was right there toe to toe with Shaq all the time.
Right.
You start seeing guys like Larry Johnson at power forward, Charles Barkley. Those guys. I mean, Charles Barkley was, 6'7" fat guy.
Right.
But it's
towards the end of his career, yeah.
Yeah, but you're starting to see speed relying, but these guys are getting faster, they're getting stronger, and it's not about just being sticks. And so that I do think the physicality is coming back.
Yeah, and I think
even
the boards are more exciting too. I think that's 3-pointers to me aren't as excited watching the game, but
no, I get bored watching the NBA. I really do.
The big guys there is big guys that, I mean, who was it? Is it Ty Robertson? I think Ty Robertson for the Philadelphia Eagles, weighing 300 and some pounds. He was running like a 4.3 or something like that. And then also going to NBA, the guy from NC State, I think he went to the Cavaliers, big dude. He's very quick too. So it's not like big guys are not fast or big guys are not. I mean, like you said, Mark, the development of them in the NCAA has gotten so much better that these big guys are even quick now, which is scary, right? Think about a 300-pound center coming down as fast as he can towards a Wembanyama or a Chet Holmgren or even a Horford, some of the bigger dudes. Like, that's still scary. Like, that's a freight train coming at you. Like a Shaq type individual running that quick at you. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take this L. You know what I mean? Like, you could have the 2 points at that point. But yeah, go ahead with the next question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So going back to the finals, what are y'all's thoughts on the East and the Western conferences? How do you guys feel about each one of those?
What do you got, Chosen?
So yesterday, very good matchup. It started out really, really good. Timberwolves versus the OKC. It looked like Ant-Man had a little injury there, and then that gave them OKC the momentum. That's going to be a hell of a series. But I do have the Timberwolves coming out of that one. I do want the Timberwolves coming out of that one. I could see a world where SGA and them, if they collectively work as a group, and it's not just one dude trying to do it all. I could see them in a world of winning games. But it's good. For some reason, they're so inconsistent. Like, they'll have one game where they score 149 points, and then they'll have another game where they score 93. So it's kind of worrisome when you're going up against a Timberwolves where it's always consistent. They're going to score 100 points, every single game. They're at least scoring. I mean, I know they scored only 88, but again, there was a lot that happened in that game for it to be 88. They normally don't do that. But if you go back to their history, they score consistently 100. I'm interested to see if this goes long term, past 5 games, what's going to happen to OKC playing against a Timberwolves team, the way that they play. But give me the Timberwolves on that game. And then the game tonight, I got the Knicks. They actually battled last year when Brunson got hurt. I don't know if you guys remember. And then Brunson was out for 2 of those games, and they moved on. The Pacers moved on. I think this is his revenge game. I think this is where he comes back and gets healthy. You guys still hear me?
Yeah.
This is what. Sorry, my Siri went off. I think this is the game where he gets his revenge back, and they actually do really good. Right now, they're up 75-72 with 3 minutes and 25 seconds in the third quarter. I think this is the game where they get it together. Last year, the other thing that they were lacking was that center, that guy who can bang, that guy who can spread the floor. They got Towns, and Towns has been showing out tonight. So give me the Knicks. Give me the Knicks on the Eastern Conference Finals. Go ahead, Marcus. All right.
I actually got the same exact thing. I've got the Wolves and the Knicks. I've had the Wolves since day one at the beginning of the playoffs, and I'll stick to it. And I mean, obviously, I had Boston going in the East originally. Once they lost Tatum, that's what put them out. And but I had them losing to the Knicks in the finals. So obviously, with that happening, Of course, I will have to stick with the Knicks also. I don't think the Pacers. I think Halliburton is good, but when you look at the likes of Jalen Brunson was a second round pick in the NBA draft. He wasn't even a first rounder. He was a national champion and also national player of the year. You know, they did not think that Brunson could come out and do what he's done. Obviously, you saw Chosen said it, nailed it dead right when it come to went down last year. It's the same thing with Boston when they lost Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Tatum, that even though yes, Jaylen Brown is a great player in Boston, at the end of the day, Tatum is that one that puts them over the hump, and that's
you think so?
I do think so.
I don't think so.
I
don't think. I think momentum wise, yeah, but I don't think ability wise. I don't think that Jason Tatum is that dude. Like, he's not him. We've seen him multiple times with clutch moments, and it's always been Jaylen Brown. That's why Jaylen Brown won MVP. I mean, I think it's Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is him. I don't think that Jason Tatum is.
There's a catch when you have a player that's scoring points, is because obviously you're able to spread the ball more. So that's why Tatum was not. So when you're focusing on that star player like they did with Jason Tatum, of course it's going to allow the guys like Jaylen Brown to take the shot, because they're spending more time, because Tatum is that guy that can go inside and outside. He's not afraid to go down low, but he's also not afraid to take that big shot. Sometimes I wish he wouldn't have, but he still, he has the capability. I do think Jaylen Brown is a faster player. He does have better handling skills.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that shot, that type of play, you're gonna trust your big man, your bigger player, with Tatum being taller, because you got a guy who's basically lining up as a small forward. And nowadays, because they run a lot of small ball, because they spend a lot of times as with running 3 guards on the floor, because this is a 3-point game.
Yeah.
So therefore, it allows Tatum to take those bigger shots over the top of somebody, but that's why they spend time double teaming him. So that's why I do see Jaylen Brown getting MVP last year. But that's why I say at the end of the day, Tatum is that player, because they know what they have to do with him. But now that they lost him, that's why that obviously went down. As for, and that's why I say I got the Knicks. But as for Minnesota getting that big loss, you and I, we were talking earlier today, Chosen, about it. And it was, they were doing great. Minnesota was doing it. But once Anthony Edwards went out for a while, look what happens, and once you're down with a team like, there is no falling behind. You cannot fall behind, with a team like OKC and able to put up the points. You can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
So that's where I look at it. I mean, you rely on the 3-point shot once you start getting behind. I mean, if you look at Minnesota's 3-point shot, 51 3-pointers, 15 and 51. I mean, 51 to 21. That's like, let me just shoot the ball because we're behind. Three ball. Well, I'm sorry. NBA needs to get these players and these coaches need to get a little smarter. If I can take, old school play was what? As long as I know how to shoot a free throw. That's why everyone didn't care about the infamous Hack-a-Shaq, because Shaq couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, from the free throw line. Foul him. Who cares? He ain't going to make the third point.
Yeah.
If the NBA got back into that physicality, like we were speaking about earlier, I'll take that 2 plus the, and 1 all day long. But people are too busy worried about shooting the 3 ball instead of practicing their free throws. That's why the free throw percentages have been down, because everyone's used to shooting from 30 feet out. Well, it makes a big difference. So that's why when they lost, they went down, you can't make that comeback. And
he played 37 minutes at 8. Anthony Edwards, as I'm talking about, he had 37 points. He had 18 points in that game. That is not a usual. That is not his average, or nor a usual game that he scores. And Julius Randle took a load, which means that he scored 28 points, which is not his game either. And then you got guys, the supporting cast. You got Rudy Gobert scoring 2 points. Like, that's not going to get the job done, especially when you're rebounding the ball. He only had 3 rebounds in that game, Rudy Gobert.
It wasn't just
McDaniel.
that. He wasn't even in foul trouble. That's what was amazing. He was non-existent. It's like I think he forgot that what time game time was, because even on the fouls, he only had 2 fouls. So it's not like they can say, "Oh, well, he was in foul trouble." No, he had 2 personal fouls. Reed was the one that stepped up
in the first 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you look at it, like I said, off the bench, you got DaVincenzo who filled in 3 of 14 in shooting, 3 of 12 from 3-point land. Reed 0 of 7 from 3-point land. Like I said, Randall was actually the best 3-point shooter that they had, and he's a power forward.
Right.
Yeah, he likes to dive for sure. But and then you got SGA scoring 31 points. When has he scored 31 points in this conference in the playoffs?
Well,
he hasn't.
Well,
you know and then you got Holmgren.
Hold up. Wait a second. SGA might not have scored the 30 points because it's about spreading the ball again.
Right.
No, he scored 31 points.
Right, but you said when has he done this in the rest of the series, in any other series? Well, you're able to spread the ball. You don't have to worry about it, because why? There's a reason why the guy just got named MVP. You're going to double team him. But he's the last guy to do this. Just so you know, it's the airness. The greatest of all time. Michael Jordan was the last player that averaged 30 points, 5 assists, 7 boards, and a steal in a season. Jordan did that in the first 2 years of the 5 MVPs that he has won. Right. So SGA was the first guy that has ever done that since then. So what do? Double team him.
Yeah, I think I'm with you guys with the Knicks, but I think that SGA and team pull it off, and it's going to be the Knicks and Thunder.
Okay, that's fair.
That is
fair.
The biggest thing for me is I like SGA. I didn't like he went to Kentucky over Tennessee, but he was a great player at Kentucky. But just Chet Holmgren, man, that's not a. That dude's seriously, it's like watching a stick out there.
Yeah,
you're right. What's our last question?
That's what I was leading into. Is who do you guys think going to go into the finals and who's going to win it all? Do tell.
Ooh,
I'm sticking with my answer. I'm still saying Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, if Minnesota faces the Knicks, Minnesota wins that game. If the Thunder play the Knicks, the Thunder win that game. If Pacers go to the finals and Minnesota plays, Minnesota wins that. Well, I don't think it matters. I think
whoever represents the Western Conference is going to be the NBA champions.
I think the Knicks are going to take it.
Take it all.
They're going to take it all.
I ain't gonna lie. I would rather see Anthony Edwards, win it, with Minnesota. But I wouldn't hate against, watching the Knicks. I just wouldn't want to have to listen to Spike Lee talk about it all the time.
Yeah. So one of the things that I would look at in these finals would be they're obviously when we're talking about passing the torch, the person that's going to win this year would be not the face, but the new era, the new guy on the block, right? So I would like to see Anthony Edwards or SGA win it, only because then that really helps prolong that or push that narrative of the next guy up type situation. So with the Knicks, you really don't get that from Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's a team player, and you're not going to get that from Halliburton. Halliburton's he's not that dude. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah. So I don't know. I want to see a good series, and obviously this Knicks. When you got teams like the Knicks and Pacers playing, you're talking about only one game separated them on the regular season. Mm-hmm. This is probably the biggest and the most even matchup there is in all the NBA playoffs.
Right. How many games do you guys think they'll go in for the finals?
7.
Oh, okay.
No, in the finals? In the
finals.
The NBA finals.
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6.
It'll be 5.
Yeah, it's 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm
if
calling
someone if someone steals one at home, I can see it going 6. If they just play basketball and just win when they need to, then I see a 5.
Yeah, I'm sticking to 5. I do think
If we go Western, I think this is the game. This is the series that probably will go 6 or 7. I can see it going 6 or 7 because of this first loss. But it doesn't. I mean, they just got to steal home court advantage away from OKC in this next game, and then it's a whole different ball game. Then you got, if the Knicks win tonight, you could see that going like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think the Knicks and the Pacers, I really do think it's going to go 6, possibly 7. As for the WCF
I don't hate it.
Finals, Western Conference Finals, I do think it's going to be a probably a 5 or 6. I'm in agreement on that one. It's going to take Minnesota to win the next one. Obviously,
the next 2.
Realistically, yeah, they're going to have to do that, but. So it just depends. I think if they go down 2-0, it will be OKC. I do not think Minnesota will be able to come back from. I don't think any team can come back realistically in any of the conference finals,
unless you're the Cavs, with LeBron. But I mean, anyways, yeah.
Totally off topic.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm trolling today. I'm on my.
You are on a little episode of trolling tonight.
Yeah, I am.
Spicy tonight.
There was a lot. There was a lot going on today. I will tell you.
Okay.
I mean,
Tush push and all this extra stuff on your guys' socials and personal life.
Jim Irsay.
A lot of stuff.
I don't know if you guys heard about Jim Irsay in the NFL. Some somber news.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is, right? Chosen?
No, I do not.
Sarai, do you know who Jim Irsay is?
I kind of do, but I don't want to say because I really don't know who that is. I heard it in the news though.
Jim Irsay is the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. He's the one that let Peyton Manning go.
Oh, that's why we don't know. They're in poverty. We don't know.
Hey, you see that badge that's right there on your left chest? It's called Sports Lounge. I can't stand the NBA, but I still watch it. I still pay attention to it.
Yeah, I pay attention to football, but I mean, winning teams,
Winning teams. Mm-hmm.
They're in poverty right now. Wait till they get out, and then I'll know the owner's name.
Yeah. Once Philadelphia loses this next year, then you'll have to be like, yep.
Yeah, I ain't accepting that, Juju. Now press it. Go ahead, press it for him. Press it just one time. Yeah, that's a negative, bro. Try again.
They ain't going back to back. I'll say that right now. They ain't going back to back.
Oh well. And if they do,
then I'll say good job.
Oh, okay.
Well deserved.
All right. We would love to hear it right here. We would love to hear it first from Mark on Sports Lounge Media, guys.
But again, I still want Philly to run the brotherly shove for the entire first quarter against the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, I think it's going to be used a lot. I think it's going to be used a lot for sure for Green Bay.
I just can't stand people crying about that. It's like, run out, stop it. It's just like people crying.
It has been stopped. Like it's not.
Well, it's just like Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It has been stopped. I mean, there's times we don't get. I mean, it's 92%. It's not a guarantee.
It's the same concept. Like when everyone was complaining about Tennessee in football, like, oh, well, they're running too fast. I'm just like, their average time of possession was only like 19 minutes in the entire game because it's nonstop, no huddle. It's like, no. Even when I coached high school football, we ran no huddle.
Right.
That's why the freaking scores were so high up. And guess what? Tennessee did the same thing. Started crying. Oh, they have to give them time. Freaking crybabies.
Right.
So, but no, that's what we got.
Yeah. So I think that's it, guys. But I want to remind you guys, don't forget to tap into all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Go check us out on X. And don't forget to right there, www.sportsloungemedia.com. Go subscribe. What Mark was talking about, a lot of the stuff that we're getting for Kelly Bill Graphics, we are going to be raffling off. We are going to be ticketing some stuff. We are going to be doing some amazing things. We did have a TikTok winner on the draft. They'll be posting some stuff as soon as they get their hat. And yeah, so I'm super excited about that. There's so much going on with the Sports Lounge Media. And let me take this time right now to let you guys know, Down South Philly Show is on which day? Do we remember? Do we remember what day? Down South Philly Show? No? What about the Marshall Experience?
Tuesdays. One of them's on Tuesday.
They can put it in the chat. They'll put it in the chat. But look at guys, you'll get the notification though. That's what this is the reason why I'm going here. If you don't know, you'll get the notification if you go subscribe. We got the Marshall Experience, talking all fantasy, guys. So if you want to get into your fantasy teams and you want to know who to draft, the best way to draft, we got some new guys coming into the league that are going to be taking some snaps. Cam Ward, we got Ashton Genty. We got all kinds of dudes coming in. You guys are going to want to know everything about fantasy football. Tap into my boy, the Marshall Experience. We also got that Down South Philly Show. And it's amazing. They got really great content, talk about the Eagles and things like that. The same guy.
He's on Tuesdays.
He's on Tuesdays. Mm-hmm. The same guy that talks about the Philly Show is also our guy that's going to run Hearing It First here is First and Goal on Sundays. So if you're familiar with the Red Zone is, that's exactly what he's going to be doing on here on his live channel on Sundays. And so I'm excited about that. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited about that. We also got a guy by the name of Sunshine. I think his name is Sunshine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sunshine with sports. And he's gonna be. He jumps on every Mondays and Fridays. He jumps on with individuals that are usually rivals against the teams that he's talking about. He got some healthy debates. Go check him out on Mondays and Fridays as well. And he talks everything Eagles from the Eagles Nest. Go subscribe to that. We also have our show going on Wednesdays. Come tap in with us. But we also got Mark is going to be tapping in really hard on Saturdays when everything that has to do with MLB. So he's going to be jumping on that soon. Look out for him to jump on that. And we only got a few more weeks of NBA, and we're right back into football. So look forward to doing that. Reminder is forget who.
We can't forget somebody either.
Oh, Kim Patel. Wow, how do we forget about it? How did I forget about it? Go check out. I think it's because he's a Patriot fan. No, I'm just kidding. So Kim Pat talks all Patriots, and our prayers up to him. He got into a little accident today. Prayers go out to him, and even though he is perfectly fine, there is some mental things that go on with something like that, and I want to just pray over him on that, and hopefully everything is well with them subconsciously as well. But go check him out though. I think he goes on Tuesdays as well, and
Mondays and Thursdays.
Mondays and Thursdays. See, that's why we got her. Wait. There we go. Right. So there you go. That's our schedule. In case you guys wanted to know our schedule, that's what we're doing. But one thing that we haven't introduced is a new guy. You're going to meet him. His name is John Hamilton, and he's going to bring to you first ever. This is where we go one step higher, SML bets. You're going to be able to do prop bets. You're going to want to do those things. That's why you need to go subscribe, www.sportsloungemedia.com. You're going to be able to do prop bets.
What is it called again?
SML. SLM.
There you go.
SLM bets.
It's not Sports Media Lounge. It's not Sports Media Lounge. It's Sports Lounge Media.
There you go.
He's trolling. It's okay, Mark. He's trolling.
SLM bets. Sorry, guys. SLM bets. She had enough of me. All right. So SLM bets. You're gonna be able to do your prop bets. You're gonna be able to go. He's gonna be going live on certain days. I think he's gonna go live on Wednesdays after us and Saturdays. And he's going to be able to tell you what parlays to take, which ones are good, the over, the under, the spreads, the money lines, and all the other prop bets and stuff like that. This is where we take it a step further. super excited with that. We also got some new sponsors, and we are colliding. We just got our NFL credentials as well, and we are working towards making this the #1 show that you guys have seen and bringing all the content. So all these guys are a part of that, including us here on the show. And I'm blessed, like, and fortunate to be locking arms to each and every one of you guys. So thank you for the hard work that you guys have been putting in. It's paying off, and we're moving forward. But I do want to take just a small little portion before we end this to let Sarai do her thing and tell us a little bit about your nonprofit and how they could be a part of Hearts and Howls.
Hearts and Howls, and
I was gonna howl right now, but I was like, nah, let me just save that.
We're done with the trolling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Go
Hearts
ahead.
and Howls is a team of devoted volunteers. We pour our hearts into providing a safe haven and essential services for our four-legged friends and our meows as well. There's also Hearts and Meows. But what we basically do is we do get donations for our nonprofit. We take care of a lot of abandoned dogs within our community. We also network outside. We just transported an adopted dog that got transported to Virginia. So a lot of these donations help for those transportation costs and vets and spay and neuter. So we don't add to the problem, we fix it. So yeah, a little bit about Hearts and Howls.
Yeah, good thing I let you just do that little segment, because the first thing that popped into my mind was Super Trooper, and I was like, meow, you know? All right, meow. Like, meow then. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just got sidetracked when you said meow. I was like, that reminded me of Super Troopers. I don't know if you see
I got you. Hold on. I got you, Sarai.
Come on, bro.
I'm waiting on it.
All right, meow.
Like we just gonna start muting them.
All right.
But no, that's for tonight's show. We appreciate everyone on here, and yeah, thank you guys again. Like, follow, and subscribe.
Bye.
You're not muted, brother.
Oh, my bad.